Hey there, boys and girls, third grade. Welcome to some more math. We are looking at the clocks again. So far, we have discussed clocks with the hours, quarter past, half past, quarter till. We've talked about the fact that each of these big numbers on the clock account for 5 minutes. But does our time only go by 5 minutes? So if you tell the time, could it be 3 minutes past? Could it be 6:03? Sure. Could it be 6:09? Could it be 6:27? Absolutely. So today we're going to be looking at the nearest minute. The nearest minute. So nearest minute. So it could be, let's look at this clock here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason the big numbers go by 5 is because there's little spaces in between. And each of those little spaces is what? 1 minute. Okay, so I just drew on the clock right here, I just drew 15 minutes, and each of these is with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the clock will not always end on a multiple of 5. Most of the time, it will be like 25, 27, 29, 56. It's going to be anywhere on the clock, anywhere between 0 and 59. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at today. So with that, let's look at this little cat's diary, City Cat's diary. So this little cat right here in the picture. The cat woke up at 6:55. 1 minute later, do you see 6:55? It ate breakfast and drank milk. So I'm assuming its owner already had that ready. It's 7:08. It played with catnip mouse toy. Catnip is like a special thing they put in a toy, and cats love the smell of it. Okay, at 7:11, it sat in the windowsill. At 7:26, it played with the fish. At 7:38, it jumped on Ravi to wake him up. Okay, so that's just a little fun cat diary. So let's see what it says up here. It says at 7:26, it played with the fish. And follow the arrow. Now let's read this together. The minute hand will show 26 minutes after 7. So when it's 7:26, it'll be 26 minutes after 7. Start with a familiar point like 7:15 and count on. So remember, the clocks always rotate this way. That's really big. I won't use that. The clocks always go this way. And if you can't remember which way they rotate, just see which way the numbers go up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see it goes 1, 2, 3, 4? It goes this way. Okay? So you count on. So start with something you know and count on. So this is why it's really helpful to know 15, 30, 45 o'clock. So I know, I know that this would be 15. So here's 20, 25, and then one more would be 26. So that's what they're showing us on these clocks right here. So we started with 15, okay? And then we did from 15 to 20, because we knew 5 more was 20. And then 25 right here. So here's 25. And then once we got to 25, we know that one more past 25 is what? 26. Okay, so they're saying start with something familiar. 15, and then we went 20, and then 25 plus one more is 26. So that's how they knew to draw the minute hand. So the 26 right there. Okay, to tell time to the nearest minute, count on or count back from the nearest 5-minute point. So if you have one, for example, 7:38 is the time that you're looking for. So 7:38. What it says here as an example is you start at 7:40. So if this is 7:40 right here, I can go back to 1, and I can go back 1, 2, 7:38. So instead of going 7:35, 7:36, 7:37, 7:38, which would work too, but it's saying if it's closer, especially 7:39, right? I can just go back one space. If I know that's 40, I can just go back one space. If I know it's 38, that's 40, 39, 38. Do you see that? So this would be 38 right here. Oh, That doesn't look like an 8. Neither does that. Okay, so that would be 7:38. So those are some strategies that we're going to be using today. Write the time on the line. So we're just reading the time now. We're not drawing anything. So we have, what time is this? Now, it could be right on the dot or it can be over 1. Hopefully you can tell. So this one is right. This is 5:10. Okay, I'll write in my minutes. There's 10. And it's just past the 3. Do you see that? Because it's only 10 minutes past the 3. It is 3:10. It's not to 4 yet. Okay, let's look at number 2. I'm going to look at my minute hand first. Now, these ones are really tricky sometimes because with this arrow, it's even hard for me. I'm like, is that the 3 or the 4? But if I were to draw this right here, it'd be 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to write 03 for my minutes. And my hours, that's just past the what? 6. It almost looks like it's still pointing right at the 6, right? Because it's only 3 minutes past the 6. Okay, number 3. This is the one that tricks everyone. I'm putting this in red. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do it wrong on purpose, and you tell me what I did wrong. Okay. That's just past the 11. So if I were to count 15, 30, 45, 50, 55, 56. Or I could also do this, right? I know that this is 60 minutes, and I can go back 5, and then know that this is 55, plus 1 more is 56. So either way, it's 56 minutes. Okay, and it's pointing at the 9. It's 9:56. Is that right? No. I just told you it was wrong. It is not 9:56. This is what all of my friends do when they make a mistake. It looks like it's pointing to the 9, boys and girls. But when our clock, I'm going to shade this in like this. When we have had all this time to go around, okay, it's also had all of this time in here to go past, and it's almost to the next hour, but it's not. It's almost to the 9, but it's not. Okay, it's gone all the way around, and it's almost to the 9. So if I were to draw this, it's just before the 9. So what time is it? It's 8. Do you see that? If the minutes are super close to the next hour, and it looks like the hour hand is pointing to the next hour, it's not. It's just before it. Okay, so I want you to get that in your brain. This will stump you. You will write this wrong on a test. It happens all the time. Even for me, if I'm looking at the clock real fast, sometimes I could just look at the wrong hour. Okay, so if it looks like it's pointing to the next hour, but the minutes are almost to the next hour, then you know it's not quite to the next hour yet. It's still 8. Okay, turn the page. Now we get to write the correct time again. Okay, I want you to try this first. So pause the video. Try this first. If you want to try all the clocks, even putting in the times, the hands, try all of number 4 and all of number 5 and all of number 6. See if you can get it, and then we'll do it together. If you really still think you want to do it with me, maybe try a couple and then do the rest with me. If not, if you really said, Mrs. Kornthal, you know, I came from a different school and I didn't even learn at all. I didn't learn clocks at all last year. I need to do this with you. Okay, great. We'll do it together. And I sent home, hopefully you've already tried them. I sent home links for, and I put them on Google Classroom, links to do clock activities and clock videos on Math Playground. They're very, very helpful practice. So I know you guys have been on the screen a lot because we're doing computer on the screen, but those games will really help you. Okay, so click on those links, play those math games, and get some extra practice in. Okay, but for now, let's keep going. Okay, write the correct time. Okay, little hand, that's the hour. 12, 5, 10. 12, 10. Okay, the next one across. 8, and I'm sure, is it just past the 8 or just before the 8? Well, I know if I'm unsure, I look at my minute hand. What's my minute hand say? It's 1 right before the 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. It's only 4 minutes past the hour, so I know it's 8. It's not still 7 because it's just past the hour. Okay, my next one. It's pointing right at the 1, so that would be 5 minutes, 05. And I know it's just almost exactly on the 11 because it's only 5 minutes past, 11:05. Okay, let's see the next one. Let's look at our minute hand again. 15, 20, 21, 20. It's hard for me to tell. If you put 22, I'd take it, but I think it's supposed to be 21. But if you did put 22, that would be okay. So 21, and it is past the 6, but before the 7. So it's 6:21. Okie dokie, this one's nice because it's right on the 4. So if it's right on the 4, we know it's 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 minutes. And it's before the 7 and after the 6, so it's 6:20. Alrighty, the last one here. Let's look at our minute hand. I can tell that's this one right here. So this is 5. 5 plus 2 more is 7. So I know that it's 07. And it's just past the 8, almost still on the 8. 8:07. And what time would we say? We would say 8:07. Okay, let's draw on our clock hands. And this is the other one. Be careful where you put your hour hand. 7:09. If you think you know this, don't skip the video. I want you to actually double check to see where your hour hand and minute hand were. So let's start with the minutes. They're long. They can even touch the number, come close to it. Okay, so I know 9 is going to be one more before 10. Sorry, yeah, one before 10. So it's going to point to that one. And it's going to be really close to the 7, right? And it'll probably look like it's just pointing at the 7. So your shorthand will almost look like it's pointing at the 7 because it's only 9 minutes past. And it's going to be, if this is 10, it's going to be one line right before it. Awesome. Number 6, 14. Well, if I know this is 15, I know that this is 14, right? So we can draw our arrow pointing to that. And 4, it's going to be past the 4, about 1/4 of the way-ish past the 4 and not to the 5. How are you doing? Is your clock looking like this? If it isn't, you need to fix it. If it is, good job. If some of them are and some of them aren't, just shows we need more practice. You can get online and do some more practice or draw some in yourself. Okay, 250. This is one of the ones that'll trick you. I'm going to count backwards. I know that this is 60 minutes, 55, 50. Could I have done this? 15, 30, 45, and then 5 more is 50? Yes, either way, it's going to be here. Okay, so I'm going to draw my long hand. I like taking my minute hands like all the way out to the edge since I know. And then it actually touches that little minute line wherever it is. And then I know for sure that's the long minute. And then my hour hand, I'll give you 2 choices. I'm going to do different colors. Is it going to go here? Sorry, is it going to go like this or like this? Which one is it? The one that's closer to the 3 or the one that's closer to the 2? Now here's your clue. This is almost to the 3, right? Almost to the 3. So your hour hand will look like it's almost going to be to the 3. So it's going to be before the 3, but almost look like it's pointing to the 3, but definitely past the 2. Did you get that? A lot of friends make the mistake and point it almost right at the 2. But remember, it's only 10 minutes before it gets to 3 o'clock. So this little, I'll show you. If I were to keep drawing it out, right? It's just before the 3, so we know it's still at 2. But it almost looks like it's going to be pointing to the 3. But it's not. It's just before the 3. Okay, here we go. 9:24. 9:24. 9:24. Let's do 24. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And I'll go 1 back from 25. And I'll draw my arrow. There's 24. And 9:24. So it's just it's like halfway past, almost halfway past the 9 and before the 10. 9:24. Awesome. Some of you who are really neat, this will come easy for you. Some of you who are squiggly like this, when you draw your lines, and my lines are kind of squiggly, but some of you who struggle being neat, this is actually pretty tough for you. So this is good practice. Okay, let's look at the next one. 21. 5, 10, 15, 20. 21 is this one right here. So I'm going to take my arrow and I'm going to draw it to that line. 10, 21. So it's going to be just halfway, almost halfway past the 10 before the 11. I hope yours matches. Okay, 42. It's a couple different strategies for that. You could go 15, 30, 45, and then count back. 44, 43, 42. Or you could go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and then count up 2. Or you could go 30, 35, 40, and then count up 2. So any of those will work. But we know that it's going to end up right 44, 43, 42, right there. So I'm going to draw my arrow. There's my minute hand. And it's going to be past the 3, but closer to the 4, right? Because it's past halfway. It's almost 3/4 of the way around. So it's going to be between the 3 and the 4, closer to the 4. Awesome. Here's some review. Let's just do this together because we can. Do you remember line segments and angles? Okay, I'm going to do them in 2 different colors. Let's just draw the angles. Ooh, I'll even quiz you. An angle that's like this is what? A 90-degree angle. Okay, and the ones that are bigger than that are obtuse. So this is an obtuse angle. This is an obtuse angle. And what's the littler ones? The cute, acute angle. So there's 2 acute angles and 2 obtuse angles. So how many angles do we have altogether? We have 4. I'm just going to do the angles on these first. So we have an angle. Those are both right angles. We have some big obtuse angles right here. And without measuring, I think that might be acute, maybe slightly smaller than a 90, or no, maybe it's slightly larger. But either way, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. Do you see them? Do you find any angles at all in this circle? Anywhere? No, there's none. Okay, let's trace our line segments. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. And the next one, 1, 2, 3. Did I write 4 even though I counted 5 before? I did. See, boys and girls, sometimes I even have the right answer and I just write random things. We counted 5 angles a couple times and I wrote 4. Okay, so let's go again and count our segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's see if I can actually write the right numbers down. So there's 5 segments for both of those. And how many line segments? Like a straight, remember a line segment is a straight line section. Okay, is there any straight line sections in this circle? No. And how do you always remember how many line segments they have? Because look at the answer. They're both circles. They have 0 line segments. A circle has 0 line segments and 0 angles. If you remember that, you'll always know. All right, boys and girls. Hooray, we're done for the day. I will talk to you later. Love God and love your neighbor. Go